Anglers Extra.
Time now for the catch of the day from Doran Park. Joining me is one of the dual closers on the Chatham Anglers, Matt Brazis from Boston College. Welcome aboard.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
So you live in Tampa, Florida. You end up in Boston College. How's the weather up there?
It's usually pretty cold, especially in the fall. I think it gets down to about 20 degrees or something towards November, when we have morning runs and stuff, so it gets pretty brutal at times.
How long did it take you to get adjusted to that? Because you grow up in Florida, you're playing in warm weather all the time.
To tell you the truth, I don't think I've adjusted to it yet, so it's still pretty cold whenever I'm up there. But I mean, it's always nice to come back down to Tampa when it's nice and warm out to be able to work out and that type of thing.
Now, isn't it an advantage, though, for a team like Boston College if they, say, play against a team like Miami or even North Carolina in the ACC? Those guys come up there. It might be cold out.
Yeah, definitely. I remember we were playing Wake Forest and Duke one time this year, and even in the spring it was still pretty cold. And I remember going to the bathroom, running into a couple Wake Forest guys, they were basically telling me how brutal it was having to play in this cold weather, and it was like May or something. So, I guess for us it's an advantage, to be used to it and everything, and for them not to be, especially from Florida or, Carolinas or that type of thing.
Well, how did you end up there at Boston College then? I mean, do they recruit the Florida area heavily?
I think so. I mean, I kind of recruited myself a little bit to colleges. I went to a Perfect Game Showcase, and I mailed out some of my stuff to a couple northern schools, and Boston College happened to be one of them, and ended up working out.
How was that process for you to recruit? So do you contact the organizations then?
Yeah, I remember I just put the stuff in a couple envelopes, and me and my parents picked out about 20 good schools to send my stuff to, and about a week later I got about 15 to 20 letters from all the schools, getting like questionnaires that I had my high school coach fill out for me.
And what's the process then from there? Do you then contact the coaches from the specific schools?
Yeah, well, they have a rule that you're not allowed to talk on the phone to some of the coaches until like June or some type of date like that. But yeah, mostly just sending letters back and forth, find out who's interested in that type of thing, and going to camps and basically hearing stuff from other people for interest, that type of thing.
Now let's backtrack to high school. You go to Jesuit High School, is that the name of it, in Tampa, Florida?
Yes, sir, Tampa Jesuit.
And freshman year, what happened?
Freshman year, I got cut from the JV baseball team, and it was kind of an interesting process. I went to Tampa Jesuit was a very good baseball school, kind of like a baseball academy, and I guess I didn't really fit into their system. I was a pitcher only, and I guess at that time they were looking for more athletic pitchers than myself, and trying to turn outfielders that had good arms into pitchers. And I was kind of a pitcher only guy with a good curveball, that type of thing. So I guess I really wasn't what they were looking for that year.
What did they tell you?
I remember going into the locker room, sitting down. All the coaches had a big circle, kind of semicircle type of thing. I sat in the middle of it, pretty intimidating, and basically told me that I wasn't good enough to play on the JV team. So, instead of being sad about it, quitting and stuff, as a lot of people would do, I ended up playing JV for another high school, which you're actually allowed to do if you get cut. So my dad ended up being one of the coaches, and I ended up throwing a lot there and at Robinson High School, and got a lot of playing time in and ended up improving. So.
What was your reactions, though? Was it tough to stick with baseball after that point?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. I know my dad wouldn't let me quit baseball, and I wasn't going to either, but it was tough. I remember going out to eat, out to lunch with my parents after the tryouts and everything, and basically told me to keep working hard, as happened to a couple other people in the past at my high school. So basically just to stick with it and try harder and basically prove to them that they made a mistake.
So then what happened after that, the next year?
Well, during the summer, they were just going to have one summer league team, and there was about 40 kids that wanted to play. And I remember the head baseball coach, John Crumley, basically talked to a couple people, and they basically ended up making two teams. One that was the returning JV team, the other one was the kids that got cut, that type of deal, and I was put on that team. And I remember one of the games was we scheduled like the A team, basically the AJV team that summer, and I ended up started throwing 3 innings, struck out 8 or 9 guys. So ended up still to this day my favorite outing ever in my life. So after that, I think I caught their eye, and the rest is history. So.
Yeah, and then you excelled at high school. Did the coaches ever mention anything about that, going back to freshman year?
Well, thankfully, some of the coaches changed, actually. Our head coach, Crumley, retired, and we got Richie Warren, who was a great coach. He ended up coaching the sophomore year that I played. It was his first year. And, kind of the coaches changed a little bit. He ended up being on varsity for my junior year, so he was my coach for next 2 years. So, the coaching staff wasn't the same, the same the year I got cut, but still, I can't say enough about the new coaches. They did a great job.
And now Matt Brazis, the closer for Boston College. Look at you now. So what do you tell kids that get cut from their teams in their freshman or sophomore season?
Basically just to stick with it, don't give up, never lose hope. keep playing hard. I mean, just if you have the talent, I mean, why not? Why stop? So.
And now at one of the premier summer leagues with one of the premier teams in the Chatham Anglers. Now, last year Chatham had a definitive closer in Russell Brewer, who had a great season. But this year, opting to go a different way, at least for now, Kevin Vance from UConn, he's the closer there, and you're the closer at Boston College. Do you like this dual closer role?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, we got 6 games a week, and at this time we got, I think, 11 games in a row coming up. So, I mean, even if I wanted, I can't throw, all games in a row, or I don't think they'd let me. So, I mean, it actually works out really good. We're both getting our work in, being able to throw in front of scouts and everything. So I think it's a pretty good deal.
Is there a set system that goes on? Do you know when you're going to pitch essentially sometimes?
Yeah, to some degree. I think I'm about on an every other day, every third day type deal. But I know Monday and Tuesday when we had games, you wanted me to come back and throw the Tuesday after I threw Monday. And it was kind of a shock to me because I hadn't done that yet. So I lifted and ran and everything and tried to get everything out of my system. But so I wasn't able to throw Tuesday on the short notice. But so I think as of right now, be ready to throw every day. So just go by that.
Matt, thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Matt Brazis from Boston College. I'm Scott Braun on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Go Anglers!